Okay, A8 homework. So, system of equations 2 by 2. Number one, we're going to use either the elimination method or the substitution method. And it tells us which one to use. And we got to say y and then solve. Right, so number one recommends solving by substitution. And it's because y is isolated. Right, y is all by itself. When you have a variable all by itself, you can substitute it into the other equation, right? All of this will go into y, right? Because y is equal to 3x plus 1. So we'll plug in 3x plus 1 into y. And then we'll distribute and then solve for x because all the y's are gone. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 1. Combining like terms. Actually, we're going to combine like terms. We can negative 8 plus 12 is 4x. Right, these two together. And then minus 4. So 4x is equal to 12 minus 4 is 8. Divide both sides by 4. X is equal to 2. And then we plug that back into the original to solve for y. Y is equal to 3x. In this case, x is 2 plus 1. So 3 times 2 plus 1, 7. Okay. Number 2, solve by elimination method. Why? Because, I don't know, the variables are aligned. And x's can cancel. Maybe. That sounds good. All right, so if we want to cancel out x, if we multiply everything by negative 2, this will be negative 2x, negative 6y is equal to negative times negative positive. 2 times 5 is 10. So when we add, it cancels. Negative 4y is equal to 16, right? Because we always add. Divide by negative 4. Y is equal to negative 4, right? 16 divided by 4 is 4. Positive divided by negative is a negative. So we take y and plug it back into one of the originals. I'm going to do the top one before we multiplied by negative 2. So x plus 3y, in this case negative 4, is equal to negative 5. X minus 12, because 3 times 4 is equal to negative 5. If we add 12, x is equal to 7. All right. Substitution. Again, why? Because x is isolated. And I'm going to plug in into x because x is equal to negative 3y minus 5. So we get 2 times negative 3y minus 5 plus 2y is equal to 6. When we distribute, we get negative 6y minus 10 plus 2y is equal to 6. Again, combining like terms, this is going to be negative 4y minus 10 equals 6 plus 10 plus 10. Negative 4y is equal to 16 divided by negative 4. Y is equal to negative 4. And then plug into one of the originals and solve for x. So x is equal to negative 3y, which is negative 4, minus 5. Therefore, x is equal to negative and negatives are positive, 12 minus 5. X is equal to 7. The exact same problems. Okay, interesting. All right. Elimination method. All right, let's just do the elimination method. Honestly, I don't care why at this point. So the variables are aligned. We're going to cancel one out. Let's multiply by negative 2. So my idea is that we're going to cancel out the y's like this. But I can already foresee that the x's are going to cancel as well. So this is going to make negative 4x minus 2y is equal to positive 8. So when we add, 4 and 4 make 0. 2 minus 2, again 0. And then 8 plus 5, 13. All right. So when we have 0 equals a number, right, we know that this is no solution. That's kind of nice. Okay. Number 5. Solve using whatever method we want. I'm going to use the elimination method because positive y, negative y. When we add, we get 2x is equal to 12. Divided by 2, x is equal to 6. I'm going to plug that into one of them. Looks like the bottom one. So 6 plus y is equal to negative 8. Minus 6 minus 6. Y is equal to negative 14. 8 and 8, 16. Yep. So 2 less. 14. Negative 14. Six. All right, so let's get fancy on this one. All right, so elimination method, right? It's typically what I go for. Nothing really jumps out at me as far as like a quick multiplication. So the way I was taught is that one of the fastest ways is to pick a variable and then multiply by the other number. So in other words, if you multiply by -6 and by 4, I'm going to cancel out the x's. All right. However, if you have a little bit of number sense and you notice that the top equation, it's all even numbers, 4, 6, and 8. You can divide everything by 2. And this would be 2x minus 3y is equal to 4. Not only that, but the bottom equation is divisible by 3, which means 2x minus 3y is equal to 4. So what happens is that we see they're the exact same line, right? Same line. Infinitely many solutions. We have infinite solutions. If you were to do the elimination method, you would have gotten at some point a 0 equals 0. You would have saw it for sure. All right, 7. 4x minus 6y is equal to 8. 6x minus 5y is equal to 12. All right, so again, I notice, like off the bat, that 4, 6, and 8 are all even numbers. So if you divide by 2, we're going to get 2x minus 3y is equal to 4. Okay. The second one is not exactly the same line, right? It's not the same line at all. However, looking at this, I can multiply the top one by -3 so that I can cancel out the x's. So watch, as I multiply this, this is going to make -6x positive 9y equals -12. All right, when we add, we get 0. 4y is equal to 0. Right, because 12 plus -12 divided by 4, 0 divided by any number is 0. Y is equal to 0. That's actually nice, because when we plug that into here, we get 2x is equal to 4, right? Because if I plug in 0 into y, 3 times 0 is 0, divided by 2, x is equal to 2. Okay, 8. All right, the y is isolated. The variable is isolated, so I'm going to substitute, right? Substitution method. So all of this is going into y. So 4x plus 6 times -2/3 is equal to 3. Our simplifying 6 times -2/3. So this is 4x minus 6 times 2 is 12. 12/3. That's 4. So this reduces to 4, or simplifies rather. So 4x minus 4 equals 3. So I'm going to add 4, and we get 4x is equal to 7. Oh, this is ugly. Okay, dividing by 4 to solve for x. X is equal to 7/4. Plug that into here. And we get y is equal to negative 2/3 times 7/4. Okay, some things can cancel here. You gotta learn how to cancel. So 2 goes into 2 one time, 2 goes into 4 twice. So that reduces. And we get 7 times 1 is 7. 2 times 3 is 6. And it's negative. So y is equal to negative 7/6. All right, number 9. Again, substitution method is the way, right? Because x is isolated. So all of this will get plugged into x. 3 times 5y plus 1 minus 15y equals 3. Distribute. 15y plus 3 minus 15y, that's interesting, is equal to 3. Okay, so 15s go away, right? They cancel. 3 is equal to 3. A number is equal to a number. This is going to be infinite solutions. Right? If a 0 equals 0 or a number equals a number, this is going to be infinitely many solutions, right? It's the same line. This is the same line. Okay. Number 10. Here, elimination method, right? In my mind, I'm seeing this as a 2, and we can eliminate some stuff. So if I multiply everything by 2, it's going to be 14. So when we add, cancels. 5x is equal to 10, 20, negative 30. Negative 30. So divide both sides by 5. And we see x is equal to negative 6. If we plug that into the original, the bottom one, before we multiplied by 2, that would be negative 6 plus y is equal to negative 7. So negative 6 plus something equals negative 7. It's going to be negative 1. Y is equal to negative 1. Right. Number 11. Again, the y is isolated. So this is going to be substitution method. And all of this gets plugged into the y. So negative 3x plus negative x minus 2, right? Plus negative is the same as minus. And this equals 2. Combining like terms, we get negative 4x, right? Because negative 3 combined with negative x minus 2 equals 2. So if we add 2, negative 4x is equal to 4 divided by negative 4. X is equal to 1. Negative 1. Negative 1. So when we plug in negative 1, right, into the x, we have to be careful of the negative signs. Because y is equal to negative x, but x is negative 1 minus 2. So negative times a negative will turn that into a positive. So basically y is equal to positive 1 minus 2, which we know is negative 1. All right, number 12. 2y, that stands out. If we multiply everything by a negative, change the sign of everything, that's going to cancel. And we get 4x is equal to positive 8, right? Negative 4 plus 12. Divide by 4. X is equal to 2. Positive 2. So when we plug it in, we can go to the original, one of the originals, and just plug in x. So 5 times 2 plus 2y is equal to 4. Solving for y, 10 plus 2y is equal to 4. Minus 10 minus 10. 2y is equal to negative 6. Divide by 2. Y is equal to negative 3. Okay. Those are all of the solving systems. So now let's see a word problem. All right. Dave's Pizza, a soda, 2 slices of pizza, costs $10.25. Soda and 4 slices of the pizza of the day costs $18.75. Find the cost of each item. So we have 2 equations that we have to find. One, we have to have the total number of items. And then the total cost. But we need some variables. So if we let pizza and soda. So if we let X be soda and Y be pizza, then we would get 1 soda plus 2 slices of pizza. This should equal $10.25. Okay, so the total cost is actually not gonna play a role here. We'll just have 2 equations of the different prices. So then 4 slices of pizza and a soda. All right, so X is still the soda, and then this time 4y because it says 4 slices. Here it was 2y for 2 slices. So this is plus 4y, which is $18.75. Okay, there's our 2 systems, or our 2 equations in our system. So if we want to solve for pizza, which we know is x, actually pizza is y, and then soda is x. We can use the elimination method by multiplying everything by a negative and then adding. So this would be cancels. This would be 2y is equal to 850. Right, 1875 minus 1025 in terms of money, 850 divided by 2. Y is going to equal 425. Right, half of 850. So pizza in this case is 425. And then if we plug that into one of the originals, actually here, so x plus 2 times 425, so that's going to be 850, is equal to 1025 minus 850 and x is equal to, so 1025 minus 850. 1025 minus 8 would be 225. 225 minus 50, 175. Okay. Do another one. So a bookstore took in $167 on the sale of 5 copies of a new cookbook and 3 copies of a novel, new novel. So I'm gonna assume that those are gonna be our what's it called? Our variables, right? The cookbook, the new novel. The next day it took in $89 on the sale of 3 copies of the cookbook. Again, that's X, and 1 copy of the novel. So we have 167 is equal to 5x, right? Because it's 5 copies of the cookbook plus 3y. And then the next day, $89, 3x, 3 copies of the cookbook, and then 1 copy of the novel. Okay, so here, any method really. I mean, if we did elimination method, we'd have to multiply by -3, right? Because I want the y's to cancel. So this would be -3. This would be -9, because 3 times 3 is 9. What's 3 times 89? 3 times 9 is 27. Carry the 2. 3 times 8 is 24. And 5, 26. 26. So negative, right? Because it was -3. So when we add, we get, that's going to be 0. 9 minus, or 5 plus -9, -4x, is equal to, okay, so -267 plus 167 is -100. It's kind of nice. So when we divide by 4, -4, we get x is equal to 25. So x, the cookbook, x is equal to 25. So the cookbook is $25. Let's plug that into one of them, maybe the second one, right, that has the least amount of things. So 89 is equal to 3 times 25, which is 75, plus y, right? Because 3 times 25, when we plug in x. Minus 75, minus 75, 14. Y is equal to 14. So the novel is $14. Okay. Last two. We are going to rewrite these y equals mx plus b form, graph, and then see the intersection. So minus 2x minus 2x, we get 3y is equal to negative 2x minus 21, right? There's no way to combine those because one is x and one is not. Divide by 3, divide by 3. We get, this is going to be, right, just following the arrows. We get y is equal to negative 2/3 x minus 7. Because 21 minus 3 is 7. Or 21 divided by 3 is 7. Okay, so that's the y-intercept is negative 7. And then we go down 2 over 3. Okay, there's the line. The next one, plus x plus x. 3y is equal to x minus 12. Divided by 3. We see that y is equal to 1/3 x minus 4. Because 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, so negative 4. And we're going to go up 1 over 3. Because it's positive. Up 1 over 3. Okay, so the solution, there's only one solution. Right here. One solution. Which is negative 3, negative 5. All right, last one. All right, the rewrite step. Plus x plus x. So 2y is equal to x plus 10. Right, 10 was positive, x is positive. Divide by 2 everything because we're trying to isolate y. And we see that y is equal to 1/2 x plus 5. It's 10 divided by 2. So positive 5. Up 1 over 2. All right, there's my line. Crosses at 5 and use the slope. All right, the other line. This is nice. So y is equal, I'm going to rewrite it, x plus 3. So it crosses the y-axis at 3, and it's on the 45-degree angle, right? Up 1 over 1. The slope is 1 over 1, which is 45 degrees. The line actually goes down too, but I really don't care about this direction. Because we see the intersection. The intersection is right here. This is where it's supposed to be at. So one solution, which is 4, 7. All right, guys. Hopefully this helped out. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Catch you guys in the next video. Peace.